Jeff.
Bumbuzzle.
Mahogany. Freaks. Freaks?
Oh, you didn't hear that?
No.
Oh, okay.
You gonna try it again, or?
Nah, it's
doing
fine.
something, but I couldn't hear.
You seem very pleased that we can.
No.
I thought you were yawning.
Yeah.
My brain short circuit when I was trying to come up with a word, and I think I just went,
Yeah, and the Zoom recording was like, that's background noise. Just ignore it.
He must be in a windstorm.
Yeah. Terrence. There it is. For those of you listening, every time we start game, Terrence makes that sound.
It's like he doesn't even want to be here. Don't answer.
I could explain, but it's extremely boring. There you
Start from the
go.
beginning.
Huh?
Start from the beginning.
Okay. Well,
Terrence was born.
yeah. I remember there being darkness and then bright light, and I suddenly started breathing through my mouth instead of my stomach.
But it's been all downhill since then.
Yeah. Anyway, the point. It's especially bad for me on days when I have to work on Saturday. Like, it just destroys me. I got up I came in at 3:30 yesterday. Stayed late. Then I tried to get some sleep last night, and I got woke up early.
Daylight savings.
Yeah, earlier than I thought, as it turned out. And so now I'm trying to have a beer and work myself up to, my typical level of enthusiasm that I need in order to make this a fun and engaging experience for me.
Yeah, he's not worried about us.
Or the listeners.
Definitely not them.
He's talking to you, Ryan Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan. Go fuck yourself. You know what you did.
I'll be the person on this podcast to just bravely admit it. I have nothing but contempt for our listeners. You all suck. Anyway.
Yeah, like that's something new that you've just said today.
He's just trying to get that humiliation kink, listeners.
Oh. So
Tell
I
me
thought that
more.
was his middle name. Terrence, I have nothing but contempt for our listeners.
It's not even in quotation marks. That's a full middle name.
I thought it was just Terrence Contempt Crosby.
I don't have universal contempt.
Takes too much effort.
That's right.
It does. That is a great villain name, though. Contempt.
Who?
Did you see the guy that did the if these words weren't already associated with a thing, they would make good children's names?
Felony.
Yeah.
E. coli.
Cigarette.
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 Yeah.
Parole. I mean, I always thought chlamydia is a pretty name.
Yeah. I like the old Louis C.K. bit about I can't believe that it was named vagina because it seems like it should be something prettier than that, and it should come with butterflies. Then we found out that he masturbates in front of people, so I don't know how I feel about his comedy anymore.
I think it's still funny. It's just a shit.
I mean, objectively, that is funny.
That's the funniest reason to get canceled.
Yeah. Not even groping anybody, just showing them your dong.
You watch me while I do this. It's such a sad thing to say out loud.
How are you power tripping off this? I would feel immediately sad and go flaccid.
Maybe sadness is his thing.
Yeah.
That's his. That gets his motor running.
When they say more money, more problems, when you become boat rich, those are the kind of things you have to do to get off, I guess. So that's
Boat rich. Well,
I
I
hope it
mean,
doesn't apply to canoes.
yeah, like my brother is boat rich, but like the southern version.
Yeah, no, I don't mean.
It's a John boat with a trolling motor.
Yeah, it's a.
I don't mean one that one person can flip over by standing up too fast. You know, like,
You pack too much beer, you're gonna sink.
you know,
Oh, you mean like a boat you can sleep on comfortably?
yeah.
A
How
boat
so?
that has rooms.
And not even pontoon boats.
Aw, I like pontoon boats.
I do too.
They're less rocky.
Basically, just a catamaran.
Catamaran. That's a cool word. I've always liked it.
It'd make a good name.
No, it wouldn't.
Catamaran. Call me cat.
Can you imagine trying to teach a 5-year-old to spell this?
It's not that hard of a word.
No, but like, kind of. You have a 4-syllable.
Shut up, Smarty.
I have a
What is this?
4-syllable first name.
Oh,
I learned
really?
to spell it at a very young age.
Oh, wow.
Mahogany.
I
I learned how to spell mahogany. My middle name, Patterson, at the age of 3.
Put that together. He counted on his fingers too. He's like, mahogany. Oh wow.
No shade before I was gonna say it confidently, and then I had to double check too before I did. But I remember in kindergarten when in music class when you had to clap the syllables, I was always the last person clapping. It was clap the syllables of your name.
Uh,
I've never done that. I don't
No?
think. If I did, I don't remember it because I was a very slow
I
child.
remembered because everyone would turn around and look at me like, "What the fuck are you still clapping for?" Everybody stopped.
I imagine that happens a lot more frequently in the Midwest, where everybody has these all fucking long ass European last names.
Is that a thing in the Midwest?
Yeah, they're all descended from Swedes and fucking squareheads. I mean Germans and
A lot of Gundersons and Andersons and Mickelsons.
10
Things that end
syllables
in-
for my full name.
Oh jeez, I'm only at 5.
Yeah, I'm also at 5.
And Chris Smith here is at 2. Chris Smith. Yes, I know.
Christopher.
I know your name is Christopher.
He's at
Christopher
6 syllables.
Francis.
Francis.
I didn't know your middle name was Francis. Jesus.
We
Yeah.
could have
How
been
long
calling
have I
you
known
Francis
you?
this whole time.
Yeah.
Fancy.
You went with Chris instead of Frank.
My dad's name is Francis Broadus Smith, and my name was almost Francis Broadus Smith, like the third.
Junior.
I was wondering where Broadus
Junior.
came from.
Yeah, my granddaddy had the coolest name. I think Broadus is a really cool name.
It is.
If I hadn't already picked up the excellent nickname Toker for someone who hasn't smoked weed on a regular basis in years now.
I think we should call you Psycho
What
from Stripes. Remember Stripes? My name's Francis, but don't call me Francis. I'll fucking kill you. My name's Psycho. No.
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 It's been a long
No.
time, man.
Bill Murray and
I know which movie you're talking.
Harold.
It's been a long.
Ramis.
I know it, but can't quote it. Like one of those things. I was working with a guy today who didn't know who Cypress Hill was, and he's in his 30s.
Well,
And I looked it up and realized Cypress Hill came out 2 years before he was born. So
And they lasted 2 full years.
like, has Cyber Hill still put out anything in 30 years? That's the question.
no.
They've been on tour since in 2008.
I mean, county
or something.
fairs don't count. Do they?
There's Rockville.
I was talking to him about the Far Side.
The comic strip?
No, the band
Oh.
or the rap group or the hip hop group, however you want to file that away. They got a song called Your Mama, and I'd forgotten about the song for a long time. So I pulled up the lyrics. It's still hilarious. He didn't know who I was talking about. I was like, well, who else was kind of like the Far Side out around that time? I was like, oh, they're kind of like Cypress Hill. Just assuming he'd go, oh, okay. And he went, who's that? And I'm just like, who the fuck have I been hanging out with? And then he goes, I'm 30. And I was like, oh, there's a decade's worth of difference between your pop culture references and mine. So, yeah, I'm old.
Yeah, nothing existed before 2004 as far as most people alive are concerned.
Yeah.
Youngins.
I love telling younger folks about the time before the internet. when they get in the car and we start talking about GPS or whatever, and I'll just be like, I remember before the internet. They're like, what?
I had to use a paper map once.
That's what stars are for.
Yeah. I remember when the internet came in the mail.
That's why Jeff navigates by echolocation.
You can amaze them with just the early days of like, I had to go to the library to use the internet so that I could download a map of the place I wanted to go and have it printed. Because as soon as I left the internet stayed in that building. I had to leave.
It didn't follow you places like it does now.
Look up MapQuest.
Is that even still a thing? It's got to be, right?
I mean,
there's probably a news article about when it stopped. If you're reading this for nostalgia, you're old. That's the headline.
Yeah, all that talk about things being on the internet forever is horse shit. Like as soon as a corporation or whatever stops losing money, or some rando who's been paying for a domain name since like 1998 dies, anything that's archived there is gone.
It's still here. It's still here.
Well, in your heart?
No, MapQuest. I'm looking at it right now. It is covered in Xfinity advertisements. And Subaru ads.
Holy shit, it was founded in 1967.
What, MapQuest was?
MapQuest.
Who used it? Al Gore?
They probably had
a book that they printed mailed to you, right?
Either that or
the Atlas company.
The military has had the internet for so many more decades than we have.
I mean, that is true. At least 10 years.
Yeah, but they didn't use it like we use it.
No, they did not.
Only the younger recruits used it the way we use it.
You know what's shitty for MapQuest is I Googled MapQuest, and the first thing that came up was MapQuest, and underneath was Google Play. MapQuest, the app.
So wait, how much does that cost? Tell me it's not free.
Is it? It's AppQuest now.
MapQuest, get directions. It's an app with 10 million downloads.
Are gonna be like, what's a map?
It's free.
Well, it does have name recognition. I mean, by old people like us.
Well,
I could just imagine that old folk going, I need maps. Use Google Maps. I don't trust Google. MapQuest.
MapQuest.
I can't use Google. It's woke.
Powered by Google.
Yahoo's still full of slurs. I'll use their stuff.
Google tracks my location. I'm going to use MapQuest that is powered by Google.
Man, I'm getting kind of annoyed with McDonald's. This is me way off topic, but I guess it is a tech topic.
Yeah, we're over here now.
Are they surcharging?
No, like every time I go to the drive-thru, they ask me if I'm using the mobile app. I'm like,
dude,
I'm here
I didn't realize you were rich. You're going to McDonald's and spending $3 on that single hash brown?
No, you can still get lunch for $6 at McDonald's. You get the 2 for $3.49, a Big McChicken, a McDouble, and a large sweet tea, and that's like $6.50. And that's
that used to be $3.
I know. But yeah, they say, "Are you using the mobile app today?" I'm like, "No, I'm not using the mobile app today." And I found out why they're pushing the mobile app so hard, and it's so stupid. Once you click the checkbox on I agree to the terms and conditions. In the terms and conditions, it has a part where it says you can't sue McDonald's for any reason ever.
Stupid or genius.
A good lawyer will get around that.
I know,
you
but
can't just have a blanket. You can't.
I'm just so dumb.
Yeah, right.
And by agreeing to eat these chicken McNuggets, you will be the centerpiece of the human centipede.
No.
Should I eat the cream carrot, the spinach, or the cuttlefish?
Should I eat the cuttlefish and asparagus? What an ingenious episode that was, though. The fact that they were like, there's only one person in all of South Park that does not read all the terms and conditions when it pops up, like he's the idiot. Because nobody I know, none of us have ever read all of that, right?
No, I didn't. I found that out from an article. I never actually read anything.
I was gonna say I have attempted to after that episode to read, and I just give up like halfway, 3/4. Sometimes I'll skim it all the way to the. I'll just like scroll to the bottom and be like, "What did you try to sneak in at the end?"
They're coming for you, Mahogany. You're going to be the centerpiece of a human centipede.
Oh, Lord.
Well, they know nobody reads that shit, and that's what they count on.
And that's how laws are written.
Yeah.
They make it so hard to read. They make it so hard to understand. Even if you do read it, you also have to understand it.
It's like a magic spell. I cast jargon.
So, like,
You're not
This
confused
Thursday.
for 1d4 rounds.
4 days ago, out of the blue, mostly, in South Carolina, it is now legal to just have a gun. You can conceal carry, you can open carry, as long as you're legally able to buy a gun.
But the cops can't stop and check that because you're legally able to carry.
Right. And now, it used to be in this state, it was already pretty lax. As long as you had your gun in a closed container, so your glove box, you're legal. But now, you
I
just
keep it
let
in my
that
beer
shit.
can.
You can let that shit float around on the dash. It's legal.
Sliding across from side to side as you drive.
And I'm not a gun nut. I have guns. So I was curious because working in restaurants a long time, you could have a concealed weapon permit, but you couldn't go into a bar with the intent purpose to drink and have a gun on you. Seems smart. Please don't get shit faced with a murder utensil extra in your pocket.
Or be near shit-faced people with your murder weapon.
Yeah, with places where fights and bad things happen. Yeah, let me take my gun in there.
That's how you stop bad things from happening.
I don't see where that's a law anymore.
It's not. Well, no, places can still deny service for any reason. And if they see you toting an AR-15 on your back, they might say, we're not selling you booze, bud.
No. They have to put a sign on the door that says guns aren't allowed inside the premises.
Ooh, are we going to go back to the gun checking days?
Gun check days.
Where you take your belt off and you hand it off to the bouncer?
Right. But you don't give them the one that's in your boot because you're a bad boy.
Right. Of course.
Now I want to get a job as a coat check person and just free guns. Right?
What are they going to do? I've got all their guns.
Yeah. What are you going to do? Shoot me?
Oh, shit. I didn't see his belt buckle gun.
It's all right. I had a Derringer stuck under my tongue when I went in. We're good.
No.
Under your tongue. Sure. That's the most convenient place to carry it. Nature gave you a pocket for a reason.
He keistered it.
I had to wait to the next day. Sled did a bullet points of the law because I tried to read the actual law. It's like 48 pages.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Bible is in there somewhere. I don't. It's just a lot of stuff.
It's South Carolina. There's some Bible in literally every law.
You can't take your gun on a church unless the pastor says it's okay. That's in the fucking law.
I've been in churches where pastors waving guns around. Like,
He'll probably give you the okay to bring it in. That's all I'm saying. But you have to ask now because it's a church.
preacher, can I bring my gun in?
Just in case the devil tries to follow me in on Sunday, I want to be able to pat back at him.
He's chasing me for what I did on Saturday.
Yeah. Stupid.
What a great dystopia we live in.
It's so weird.
I dislike it overall.
Yeah, that was sarcasm. I apologize for my dry delivery.
No. I'm purposefully taking it wrong. Like an asshole.
You know,
All of your sex tape.
like an asshole.
Like an asshole.
Wait, Mahogany, what was the title of his sex tape?
I'm purposely taking it wrong.
I thought it was like an asshole, but no, that's so much better.
Good times.
Oh, almost choked on that last sweet and sour chicken. Ooh.
You have sweet and sour chicken? Mhm.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Sounds sweet and
And
sour.
sour.
And sour.
Well, it was neither because I didn't use the sauce.
You're heretic.
I
But you-
used the dumpling sauce.
Oh,
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
which is a better sauce, I
This
admit.
is a better sauce,
It is a
yeah.
better
Redeemed
sauce.
yourself.
Look, I'm trying to watch my weight. There's less sugar in the soy bath than there is in the sweets.
It's a huge lump of breaded meat.
It's twice as much salt, but that's okay.
Yeah.
What is the dumpling sauce? Is it soy sauce, teriyaki, and like honey or something?
Yeah, it's 3 ingredients: goo, bread.
No, that's the sweet and sour.
Not the sweet
Oh.
and sour.
Oh, okay.
The dumpling sauce is soy sauce, ginger, garlic, green onion, and a little pineapple juice, which gets you into
That's the
teriyaki.
tang.
Or some places use black soy. I know all soy sauce is black, but if you get actual black soy sauce, it's a thick, sweet soy sauce.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
different. It's a different
delicious.
flavor. Yeah.
It's like
I
what,
was-
the vinaigrette of soy.
Sure.
Yeah.
If you're trying to make lo mein at home and you can't figure out why it's not right, it's because you haven't added black soy sauce to it.
Or
Where do you-
mushroom sauce.
I guess you got to go to the Asian market for that one.
Yeah, it's worth the ride.
Mhm.
I use a lot of soy sauce in my cooking, and I haven't been to the Asian market because I'm trying to keep myself from spending $50 on Sinbei rice snacks.
Oh,
Because once I'm in there, I have no control over myself. So
what we end up buying a lot of out of the Asian market is bowls.
I don't buy any of the bowls, but I love those little crispy snacks or mochi.
Organic ramen bowl.
Yeah, they're good, but there's a reason I don't buy them. But I went.
I'm talking about
just-
actual ceramic bowls. We're buying bowls.
Yeah, like eating ware.
Yeah. Kitchen.
Yeah, I bought a really big one myself. That's what I eat most of my meals out of. They're all really cool designs. But the point I was making was I bought. I haven't gone back, so I just bought regular soy sauce, and it's such a disappointment compared to
Yeah.
black soy sauce.
Well, now you have to go back.
Yeah,
I mean-
you gotta find a way to focus. Like
Make a list.
Fuck
you gotta make a list, and you also have to like
Nope.
already know where that shit is in the store.
I know
So you
exactly
just-
where everything in that store is.
Yeah. So you have to make a list, and you just stick to your list. You make that list by what's closest to the door, to what's furthest away, and then straight to the register.
I know you don't leave your house much,
Yeah,
but on the
man.
rare day you're driving around, Frakes.
I was actually deciding whether or not I was going to go out before the game today. There were some really good bonuses out there, but I was like, I don't want to.
Like we're talking about like +3 to hit. What are we talking?
No, like an extra $10 just for being in a spot.
Oh,
See, sometimes those bite you though, because it's like, oh, somebody
here we
sees this
go.
big surge that's for a time where it's normally not very busy. And like, so they're like, I'm just gonna fucking wait. And then you're just riding around and nobody will accept your ride because you're more expensive than everybody else. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. On a
I-
like, good. I shut up.
Oh, so it was downpouring last night. And I mean, like, couldn't get out of the car without being immediately soaked, downpouring. and I was in a part of the neighborhood in a part of town that I probably shouldn't have been in, and there was a $10 bonus surge. So I sat there, and I was like, "Well, win-win. I can wait out the rain, and maybe I'll get a ride." And it took 5 minutes to actually get a ride, but it was like a $20 ride for 7 miles.
Nice.
How
I never
interesting.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's
It's
exciting.
yeah.
That conversation was just between me and Mahogany.
Oh, I know.
Just
We
between
noticed.
me and Mahogany.
We know.
We're just letting it happen. You know, you guys are going to do it either way. So
Don't know where that evil laugh came from. I
I
apologize.
don't know why the evil collapse came.
I make money like a taxi man.
It's like I never sit there because I thought that once the bonus is added to
No, stop.
you just can go wherever. And the next person has to pay that bonus price.
Don't respond. Don't you dare. All right.
Yes, yeah.
I'm bound by the social contract that we did not sign for this show, but I can feel Jeff seething. through
Actually,
the
Jeff's
internet.
about to walk away
Yeah.
because his bowels need to be violated.
Oh no! Well, yeah,
Need a
that's you
break.
can't stop that.
Do we need to stop, Jeff? Hold on. Tucker will edit this part out if you need to.
I will stop and go smoke while Jeff goes to shit and smoke because I figured that's what is that what you gotta do, Jeff?
I may add that extra part.
What's the extra part?
The smoking.
Smoking.
So you are going to shit though. Can we get that on the record?
Absolutely.
All right.
And we're back.
Breadsticks.
We're back after various breaks of various types.
So anyway, like I
Biological
was
and
talking about with the
addiction-focused.
Lyft driving.
Yeah, I was going to let it go.
Okay.
I was going to let it go. But no. Everybody's got to push and push and push and push.
How else are you gonna get it in there?
The hard way. Goldberg eats corn the long way.
What?
My favorite wrestling banner somebody's holding in the audience when Goldberg was wrestling. It just said Goldberg eats corn the long way.
Stupid.
I'm not even sure what mental image I'm supposed to have there.
I
The
assume-
whole corn goes in, just the cob comes out. Or does it?
Yeah, I was like, is he blading it? Is that the joke?
Yeah, I
Or is
believe
it,
so. Yeah.
is it going up the back entrance?
No, ew.
Not
Just the
wrong way,
finger.
long way. With an
That
L.
would also be the long way. You're going around your elbow to reach her.
Why would you go there? I don't.
Maybe I just wanted to think about Goldberg sitting on a corn cob. You don't know me.
All right. I mean, he's not my go-to guy to think about doing things like that, but okay. I think it was like the thing that really demystifies the wrestler is his first name. It's Bill.
William.
Bill.
Billiam.
Billiam. It's Bill, short for Billethy.
Oof. All right. At any rate, let's try and actually do something tonight. This is not me taking command. This is me resigning to it.
As all great leaders should.
The fact that you don't want to do this means you're the perfect person for it.
That's a terrible reason to do things. I don't know where people get this dumb idea.
That's how we should elect every president.
Action.
Who wants to do this least?
101.
All right, so welcome to Raiders of the Lark 2.0.
Thanks for sticking with us.
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
I'm so sorry. Sirens blare all through the dome as you finish loading up the genetic samples. As you step back into the hallways of the upper dome, you can hear the just echoing screams from around the place. Panic has set in. Your presence here has caused a riot. Cutting in over the sirens, you hear the same voice from before that tried to taunt you before he sicked his giant robot on you. It's say, all security units converge on the intruders. Make sure they do not leave here alive. Essex, you bring up your HUD looking for your planned escape route, and you see a line begins to draw itself over the interior maps, taking you to the nearest the nearest utility elevator, not utility elevator. What's the word I'm looking for?
Monorail?
No. Like there's the public elevators and the
Freight
Service.
elevators.
Service elevator.
service elevators. Thank you.
Same thing.
So yeah, so you begin heading that way. As we previously discussed, and this is me not just putting actions into your mouth. But before you get there, a quartet of guards rounds the corner, basically coming off the service elevator that you're heading for. They spot you immediately as you guys assume you guys are making a pretty hasty beeline, and they immediately open fire. Roll initiative.
I knew it.
What?
Damn it.
You said, hey, this is going to be the big final fight. Go ahead and blow your load. And then the combat ended. You were like, now y'all have to escape. And I was like,
I've tricked you into blowing your load.
you tricked you into blowing your load.
Load.
How many times have you said that after a night at the bar?
Almost every time, pretty consistently.
You're a tricksy fella.
I've never tricked anyone. All right, Valgorth.
14.
14. Essex.
13.
13. Geist.
9.
9. Or no, you're not going to tell me.
9.
Weepskeep.
27.
Okay. And our guards. That's not bad for guards.
What did you get, Jeff?
13. I rolled a 3.
Just grabbing that handful of salt and rubbing it in, huh?
Your first Weepskeep.
Hold on a second. I gotta find on my character sheet where I added some bonuses last time, because my EAC is mad high.
Was that from the integrated little
The seed.
seed?
Yeah, because that's not persistent, right?
Let's see. It's not been that long. I'm gonna say it's still in effect.
Okay, good. Then I don't have to find where it is. I just don't know where to find it. Yes, I found it. I added it, and who knows if I'll ever find how to take it off. So how close are these things to me?
Within a move.
Within a move? And how many of them are there again?
There are 4 of them.
Okay. I will move up to the closest one and attack it. That is a 33 to hit.
33 will hit.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so 21 damage.
21 damage. You rocket this guy. He lets out a scream of pain, doubles over, and falls down unconscious.
And I will scream at them, leave us alone!
All right. Let's see. The other 3 guards do not leave you alone. They back up 5 feet from you and begin to fire at you at fairly close range, but not enough to get attacks of opportunity.
Convenient.
So you're about to get triple shotted by these guys. Let's see. What is this? Problem is getting the light low enough where I don't look like a zombie in general. Oh wait, no, we're
You're a cartoon today, so how you look to us doesn't matter.
oh yeah. So
Yeah,
20
we've
to,
become accustomed to your dilapidation.
Your pasty white flesh.
all right, one of them misses, but does 26 get you?
EAC?
Yeah.
No.
No. 27?
No.
All right. You're able to dodge all 3 attacks.
Woo.
Like a dancer.
Let's see. 14, Valgorth. You see 3 troopers basically nearly killing each other, trying to fire at a central point that they're surrounding.
Well, seeing how quickly she knocked that first one out, I don't think I'm going to waste a big spell on them. And I'll go to the old trusty assassin rifle phantom, and I'll just I'll shoot at the closest one.
All right.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-doop.
Buppity-boop. Skibbity-bop, skiboop.
Oh, there it is. Ooh, does an 18 hit their KC?
And 18 does hit their KAC.
Oh,
It just hits it.
then they take 18 damage,
All right. 18 damage.
and I'll use a move action to reload.
All right. You wound this one pretty critically. Essex.
I run up and bite one.
Okay. Which one? The injured one or one of the fresh ones?
A fresh one.
Okay.
Oh, let's see.
I run up and bite him. That's like a real bizarre berserker kind of move.
23 to hit.
Huh?
23 to hit.
That will hit.
I've got all these weapons, but
Because I
Yeah,
mean,
I
Essex
just thought it was
looks like
kind of.
a dude, right?
Yeah, I just thought it was kind of vicious.
This place
Yes.
is put him in a real biting mood.
Got this sniper rifle that doesn't have to be reloaded every round, but gonna bite you instead.
Yep. So let's see. 8 plus 17, 25 points of damage.
25, you run up and rip the guy's throat out, basically.
so I shot the guy with a bullet, and he's still standing. And Jeff just casually chomps on him like a fucking sandwich, and he goes down. This game's bullshit.
Was it the same guy?
No.
Oh,
Here go, guys. There's a pretty savagely injured one, a pretty savagely dead one, and a normal dead one who got.
there was 4, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Now
there's 2
there's
standing.
2.
One fresh, one badly hurt.
All right, I'm gonna run up to the fresh one, rolling my stealth check. Ooh, that's a 45.
That'll hit.
Is that right?
Do it. Jesus.
No, that's 35. 35 to make him
I'll
flat.
definitely do it.
Quick drawing my Doshkari advanced, and 24 to hit his flat-footed
It
KAC.
does. It does.
All right. This probably isn't going to matter, but he needs to make a reflex save. against this attack.
I got a 12.
Believe that you fail.
Just give me the damage before we decide on what kind of effects are into play here.
He's just disarmed. That's all. Yeah, it's a 19.
right.
And then, like I said, it probably isn't going to matter because that's a 26.
Yeah, he's down.
So I basically cut his wrist off.
Okay. He screams, looks at his bleeding stump, faints. One left, and it is your go, Weepskeep. You see one that Valgorth plugged with his gun.
The only character that didn't kill anything.
It's just because you're small.
Whip him.
Valgorth maimed him.
Because they didn't do the minimum 20 hit points I needed for these guys to go down.
So I punch his face off.
All right.
So 30 to hit him.
That will do it.
His
Yeah.
face off.
Off.
Oh.
Yeah.
Face.
That's made famous by John Travolta and Nicolas Cage.
Thank you. Thank you. Like we did. Who are you talking to?
That movie came out in the 90s.
I mean, this is the
So
most
did-
unhinged movie from the beginning.
Oh, I was about to say
From the
so did I, but that's not true at all. It came out in like the mid 2000s.
Take your time.
But I'm gonna assume you do enough damage to destroy him.
Yeah, I mean,
All right. So yes, you basically make short work of the troops that were coming to intercept, the early troops that were coming to intercept. But you're getting a lot of alerts, and you can, and once you begin to cycle through the various information offered on your now patched in HUD Essex, you can actually tell where the troop movements are. They are all wearing badges that tag them within the facility.
Could we perhaps collect these badges and maybe their uniforms and try to sneak out of here instead of murdering our way out? Or are we down to murder our way out?
That's up to you.
I know that I'm asking my crew.
Oh,
This
right,
voice is the voice to speak in character.
My bad, my bad. I'll go back to being the omniscient narrator.
What's going to take more time?
I could just see that Geist turns to his companions. Should we strip them for their gear? Oh, you've got to. What the hell? Who's speaking to me?
Do you all hear that voice?
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Listen,
four
that-
of them. There's four of us. If this were TV, we would
That's
have
what-
already been in their clothes.
Yeah, that's what we would do.
Grab a gun and ammo.
Okay. The guns are antiques, but still pretty potent.
Well,
So
better
at
than
least
that,
they-
I'm grabbing the badges.
So
Okay.
at least say we've gotten some kind of treasure from this run.
Mm,
It belongs in a museum.
So it might be worth more.
Thanks, Indy. Jeez.
Thank you for doing that.
No time for love, Dr. Jones. So since you're not taking the disguise route, you grab some gear and head to the service elevator and begin heading down. However, your ability to track where they are within your facility, thanks to your enhanced access to the systems, security systems, allows you to basically plan your route to avoid your pursuers if you like, and if you're quick enough.
We're
Yes.
solid snaking it.
The only thing you see you probably won't be able to avoid is probably a firefight in the tram
Okay.
again.
We didn't
Oh, well.
shoot up the tram last time.
You
We
can't.
walked
You
through
shot
it.
at the tram coming in. What are you talking about?
Actually, when we exited
yeah.
the tram.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Okay.
So
Let
you
us go.
you move down various halls through various different freight elevators. It's a little bit more of a long place, and you see that the time it is costing you is saving you bullets, but it might cost you a little bit more to get access to the tram. But ultimately, it's one way or the other. So by the time you get down to the bottom level, heading toward the tram again, you can see that the pathways you've picked have now all been closed off and closed in. Every troop grouping seems to be converging on the trams. It looks like they've begun to track you as well. And so when you get to the final door that leads to the tram, it opens automatically for your presence, and you see a very large crowd of troops. Do you have anything to do before we start?
Take
do
an
we have,
8-hour
like,
rest, get all
healing
my spells back.
potions or anything?
So just say
Yeah,
surrender.
yes.
Are you going to attempt to actually try and bargain with them or demoralize them or something?
I will just say in my nice, flat Android voice, I suggest you surrender. With blood dripping down on my mouth.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You look like you just bit open a can of ravioli.
Or a dude.
Let's see. All right. After the door opens, you suggest they surrender. You hear a bunch of rifles begin to cycle up in
I don't think
high-pitched
they're interested.
whines. And then you hear finally the voice that you've been hearing over the comms speak from the back. Fire!
There's my target number 1.
Let's do initiative again.
Game.
This is gonna be funny. I got the exact same initiative.
What was it before? Let's see.
13.
13.
I rolled a 3 plus 10.
I scratched it out pretty effectively. Valgorth.
8.
All right, Geist.
18.
Hey, that's much better than a 9. Weepskeep.
9.
Oh, it's not as good as, not as good as 27. And the guards. Okay, man, these guys are cooking today. All right, I'm just gonna ask you what your EAC is as I go down the line. Valgorth, what's your EAC?
It is currently 23.
23. All right, you are hit twice.
Mm.
Let's see, oof, my gosh, that's almost max damage.
Is this the Butch Cassidy Sundance Kids ending?
25.
Total?
Yeah.
Owie.
All right.
Owie.
Essex.
24.
24. You are hit twice as well. For 24 damage.
All right.
Geist.
26.
26. You are hit twice as well. 14 damage.
Hmm?
And Weepskeep.
31.
You are hit 0 times. That is the troops go. Your go, Geist. You're staring down quite a lot of these guys. But not all of them can fire at you at once, obviously, because there are so many of them packed in. They decided a show of intimidation would be more important than actually efficacy. So you have that on your side.
I will take a page out of their book and create a bunch of holographic images.
Gotcha.
One holographic image.
One bunch of holographic images.
I think is it just one D4, not plus anything. Yes, There is one more Geist.
Okay. All right. You twinsy them. Any other
and
actions?
I will draw my pistol.
All right. You didn't have it out already? It feels like I would be
I have my knife out.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, I got quick draw, so I can still do stuff, but there's nothing much for me to do at this moment. So,
Like, I mean, are we staying where we are?
no, we're pushing through them, right?
Just so you know, to get to the tram, I'll just go ahead and demarcate it in our minds. It will take 3 standard moves through a crowded field, unless you guys clear a path.
I guess I could start moving toward them. They're what, 30 feet away?
They're 30 feet away, but that's where the crowd of shooters starts.
So it's a crowd of people and shooters?
No, it's a crowd of shooters.
Oh, okay.
It's like there's like 40 people in here, all of them armed.
Yeah, I activate my clone. I pull out my gun, and I get ready to go forward, but I'm not going yet.
Right. We're at Weepskeep.
Really?
Yeah, I got the worst.
I got one more than you. Huh.
All right.
But charging only gets you like to the very first one.
It means you can double move and still attack.
But you don't need to do
but
that.
you can't, like, you said I don't need to do that?
Yeah, it's only take 1 move to get to them.
Yeah. I mean, I was trying to get as far as I could go, but it would stop me at the first one, right?
I mean, you could technically try to move through them, but they would get attacks of opportunity. Would they still do that? Oh shit, I don't remember.
They could, get attacks of
Yeah.
opportunity if she's moving through, threaten. Charges a 4-run action allows you to move up to double your speed and make a melee attack at the end of the movement. You can draw a weapon during a charge attack if your base attack bonus is at least +1.
Not find anything.
After moving, you can make a single melee attack. You take a -2 penalty to the attack roll and a -2 penalty to your AC until the start of your next turn. Did that answer what you were asking?
Did you read the big paragraph in the middle? You must move 10 feet directly, and all movement must be directly toward the designated opponent, though that movement is allowed. Clear path. Yeah, so you have to go to whatever you have a clear path towards. Gotcha. So, feels crazy, but it's gonna have to happen.
What is?
Like, at some point, if our goal is to get through there, I'm gonna have to go out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm saying, like, if I'm gonna go, like, and I can't get all the way to the tram.
Let's see. Well, I mean, you could attempt to. You'd be moving through a crowd, so you probably couldn't like.
Wait
there's
for,
no way
wait for me to
around?
go.
There's no way around them.
No, they're blocking the way.
Mhm.
You're gonna either punch your way through or wait for him to go.
I'll wait for you to go.
Because who all ran up to him so far? Just Frakes?
Nobody's run up to them yet.
Nobody's run up to him.
I haven't even run up there yet. I wanted to make sure there was a clear path for our opening blunder.
But
Okay.
you guys are getting very close to getting a second barrage, so.
I have a spell that's range is a straight line, but it's 120 feet.
That will go from where you are all the way to the door of the tram.
How many of I want to put it in a position that will hit the most of them?
Like I said, there's a big crowd of them. Like you will probably be able to hit at least 10 of them by doing a straight line between you and the tram.
Yeah, then give me 10 reflex saves.
Oh. See if I got enough D20s over here next to me. So, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Okay. All right. I got an 11.
You're looking for 18.
Okay, so fail. 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 Success. 3 successes, 7 fails.
The ones that failed take 39 damage. The rest take half.
All right. Well, if the rest of them take half, then they're down 2.
Shit.
Okay.
The path is open. Weepskeep, before the next round begins, what are you doing?
Well, I still got to move.
Oh, yeah.
Well, did I have to move to line that spell up?
No, I'm going to say no. You can angle it. It's a big crowd. You can angle it whichever way you want.
How much space is between us and them? Like you said, they've got it crowded, so we're in like a hallway.
From where you're standing, it's a 90 feet to the doors of the tram. It's like a big open station, you know.
So I will do that spell.
All right.
And then I'll look at who I think is the fastest of us, and I'm gonna piggyback onto Weepskeep's back.
Okay. So that's your move, is to climb on Weepskeep.
I kill 10 of them, and then I go, "Get us the fuck out of here!" And I jump on her back.
All right.
Perfect timing.
All right, Weepskeep, what are you doing? There is now a corridor between you.
There is a corridor.
Yeah, a corridor of corpses.
How big? You're small.
I'm small.
What is it to throw a small person?
Don't throw me.
Huh?
Don't throw me.
Okay, well then, all right. I guess because I'm like, do I just go out there? I guess I just double move.
You could run too.
I can run. How does that work?
You run 4 times your speed in a straight line, and I just made a straight line.
Oh, cool. Well, then I run.
Okay.
Into the tram.
All right, Weepskeep and Valgorth basically barrel toward the newly cleared path, towards the tram. The tram door, sensing your approach, opens and says, "Welcome, passenger." As you slide inside of it, we're at the top of the round.
Oh, wait a second. You never let me go.
No, did I not? Where are you at?
Yeah, he should have been before me, right?
I went on 13.
Yeah, I thought you did go.
No,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Might be.
Now there's a big gaping hole. I will run to the gaping hole and go.
Episode title. Find a song called "Big Gaping Hole." I'm sure Bloodhound Gang did it.
Anyway, you're taking the opportunity. In other words.
Yes.
All
if you want to say, I held my action until there was a big gaping hole for me to run through.
All righty, you did that. Yes, the time travel.
Hey, I do that.
All right, Jeff, take your action. A big gaping hole has appeared.
I penetrate the big gaping hole.
Okay.
No.
All right, now we're at the bad guys go. Let's see.
They go before me.
They're first in the initiative order.
Gotcha.
You've already went.
Sorry, guys.
It's all good.
Well,
I've got a clone.
All right, guys. But now the field of fire has opened up a lot. But unfortunately for you, you're really open compared to the 3 people who are just standing inside the doorway of a tram. So I'm going to start with you guys. A number of soldiers turn and fire towards you. Miss. Hit. Natural 20. All right.
All right, and then mischance.
All right. Let's go on. Let's start with the natural 20, shall we? I'm being generous here. What is your mischance? 50%?
Yeah, basically.
All right, so 50% is hitting you high. And I rolled a 93.
Okay.
That's high.
That is high. The second one actually hits your clone, so I'm not going to worry about the damage for that. 6, 10. A shot gets through your defenses, 22 points of damage.
Okay. Do they have any critical? Was that doubled?
Yeah, it is doubled.
Okay. Do they have any critical modifiers to their weapon?
Not these particular machines, no.
Okay.
But you see your double disappear as it takes a blow as well. Meanwhile, on the opposite side of the loading bay, troops begin firing at the tram. Only a few of them really actually making it to the open tram doorway. So each of you will take 2 shots each, or 2 shots at you each. So let's see. Valgorth misses. 2 misses on you. Essex. Whoa. Does 27 get you, Essex?
Mm-hmm.
All right. 1 hit for 7.
Wait,
Wings.
never mind. It's just 7 damage.
And Weepskeep, 2 misses as well. All right. Now, next in line, that is Geist. Geist. The troops
action. Oh, go ahead.
The troops did not adjust very much, so the corridor is still there if you're willing to take the full run through it. But otherwise, what's your action?
Move action is going to be to activate my cloaking field, and then wait, no, that's not going to make any sense. Hang on.
Just run.
Yeah, I'll just run. That's 4 times your speed?
Yep.
120 feet.
Yep.
Or 160 feet, actually. So I just run and slide into the tram.
As you're running through, you can hear the guy who's in charge from his position basically in the back of the crowd screaming, "No, don't let them get away! Shoot, shoot, shoot!" And as you slide in, you can hear his voice cut off by the tram doors as they shut behind you. Destination, please.
Go, 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 go.
I'll actually use the official designation for where the port's at.
Please fasten your seatbelts. And then the thing begins to slowly take off as you see blast after blast hit the windows, many of them shattering around you, making you guys have to duck or just stand there and take them in the case of Weepskeep, whatever.
Well, as soon as we get through the door, I'm going to let go of her and then turn and face the door and prepare a hold portal spell in case any enemies get close enough to the door to try and open it.
All right. The troops begin to try and rush. Some of the troops begin to rush the door as the others are shooting in, trying to create cover fire for them. But it looks like they do begin to rush the door, trying to pry them open. A number of the troops basically begin digging their fingers in, and you can hear the metal creak a little bit.
Yeah,
I put my door at the crevice of the door and make it apparent that I will shoot the first person that pries that door even open a quarter of an inch.
All right, you still casting your spell?
Yeah, it increases the DC of their checks by 5.
Okay. Let's see the guys. The guys are unable to move the barrier as it begins to move. The tram slowly begins to move, and they are scrabbling to keep up with it up until they get to the wall, where they disappear from your sight with a thud. And you are headed into the darkness of the tram. A lot of the lights in the car that you're in have been shot out, but you see there are other lights on further up the tram and down. You see a warning light. You hear a warning, basically message go off. The tram's hull integrity has been compromised. Please make sure to keep your gas masks on, as radiation leaks are up ahead.
Make sure everything's cut on. suit
Okay.
up and
The tram trip is long, as it was previously, maybe even a little longer. But during the course of it, you get a very poor reception message from the marshal. It sounds like there's a lot of combat going on around him, and but it is not a live feed. You can barely see through the snow of the transmission. He says, "I'm afraid the mission's compromised. I tried to get everyone out. There's several domes that are evacuating. I don't know if I'll be able to make it. If I'm not there when you get there, take off. Take the people and get off this planet." And then from there, it cuts out.
Who was that? I'm sorry, I missed that.
The
Marshall.
Oh, he wants us to take his people.
Hey, actually, what do you do about the people in the dome that you just left? Are you leaving them behind, or?
Actually, I don't care about them.
Okay.
Hey,
I care
Huzzah,
about
finally.
I care about the original settlers. Basically, all
Oh.
the non purebloods. They were going to let them all be sacrificed.
Yeah, they were gonna exterminate them before this planet was like officially settled by the dome dwellers.
So
After they did all the hard-
that's who I actually worry about getting off this planet.
All right.
Plus us.
Okay. The ride takes a long time, 6-ish hours, through long, dark tunnels. Occasionally, you'll have to throw on or move from different. You definitely have to move out of the tram pod that had all the windows shattered, and you can see that there are a lot of alerts going up and down for various kind of toxic gases and whatnot. This planet still very early in this. What you can tell is it looks like a rush job on terraforming. And maybe the planet wasn't necessarily suited for habitation to begin with, so it's been an uphill battle from what you can tell. But when you finally pull into the station for the spacefaring dome, as it were, you can see that there's nothing there but robots. Most of them are inactive. Most of them are basically just in alcoves. A lot of them are incredibly old. A lot of them are pitted with rust. Some of them don't even look like necessarily even functional. And the wide plaza that you got for a tram station in the dome you just left is more replaced with a more simple, like, stone hallway that quickly gives way to worked metal. And then you can see that there are sealable blast doors. Once you get off the tram that you were in, it takes off. And you can see that there is a board on the wall that indicates where all the other trams are, actually. And you can see that there are still lines of journey from. It looks like from a couple of the domes. Like there's the nature preserve dome that you guys went through, and of course the safety zone. Apparently had a small tram underneath it that is moving a little bit faster than everything else. You also see that there's a third tram heading at you, not from where the genetics dome was, but from a third dome that you were unfamiliar with. Your files that you downloaded indicate that it was it said experimental maintenance, whatever that means. But it looks like there is you have a 2-hour window before people start arriving. What are you doing?
Are there any video feeds of the actual tram occupants?
You'll have to patch into the computers here on this dome.
Okay. Go where I can do that.
All right. This place is a big, like, it looks more like like a number of different kind of refineries all smushed together into one massive building. There's a lot of metal and steam, and the place looks hardly habitable. You know that it is a spacefaring object, but it has been on the ground for at least 500 years. And a lot of its systems are rooted in place. So but once you find the master control room, you see that it is also the flight deck. It doesn't nowhere near the surface. It is just basically nestled into the interior of the dome. But it seems to have a number of flight stations. And you see that you can see that there are a number of like very old empty plastic receptacles that have blood types listed on them. They're like empty Capri Sun packs in and around the pilot seat. But once you begin to patch into the system, you can turn on the surveillance on the trams. What are you looking for?
Seeing who's the occupants of the various ones.
All right.
And seeing if any of the occupants are actually armed.
On the first two trams that you're familiar with, both from the safety zone and the biological dome, you can see that they are only armed with like the tools that they normally use, except for on the safety zone where the marshals part-time deputies do seem to have weapons, but everyone is really crowded in on these trams. Like it's standing room only for the most part, and they've got like hundreds of people tucked into these trams, and you can see that there are a definite power drain on the engine cycling for the dome you're in.
Continue monitoring the next ones. Keep going.
All right, the third one is different. It has cameras that face on the inside, but all of the occupancy of it seems to be looks like it's filled with cryo capsules.
And is that the one from the experimental?
Yeah, experimental maintenance.
Okay. Any clue on what actually came from there? Like, is there any way to track that?
Give me a computers check.
Rolled a 19, so plus 18 is 37.
All right, you begin to plumb the depths of the systems here, and you finally find out what experimental maintenance has been maintaining back there. And you are surprised to find out that it is containing more heavily modified troops like the Marshal that have been frozen in stasis for centuries.
And they're not going to have any, they have, unlike the Marshal, which has had time to adjust to us, these people would not have any kind of
you're guessing they're probably fanatically loyal to the Emperor still.
So let's see if I can shut down that disable the power so I can get more power to the other trams and to the ship.
All right.
Just kill them.
I'm not actively trying to kill them, but I will actively shut down the power, maintain the drive motions for it to come here.
Okay. Once you're already patched in, so that's not a problem. You can shut down that tram, and you're guessing any movement that it has from now on that you can see beeping along is probably just momentum. But that gives out pretty quickly, given the weight of everything. The power picks up here, and you can see a number of indicators suggesting that the takeoff will be another 3 hours away. But you know that would probably step up pretty quick once the other trams have been shut down. Speaking of other trams, another tram popped up shortly after your investigation. This one, again, from the genetics dome. It looks like they are attempting to pursue you.
Shut that one down immediately.
All right, this one will be a little bit more tricky as far as the computers go, but go ahead.
Okay.
While he's doing that, my question is our situation such that it would count as a short rest? You could
Yes,
get a
you
short
guys
rest
have
on here?
you guys have hours to wait. Like it's not
Lovely.
like relaxing hours. They are stressful hours waiting for people, but they are basically downtime hours.
You don't know how I get down.
So
Then I'm gonna burn
36.
a resolve point and get my stamina back.
Agreed.
Yeah.
36, you cannot shut down their tram. You are locked out again. But so you're guessing just by the distances and the speeds that you'll have a 10-minute window to evacuate the trams before, like, basically you have a 10-minute window after the last tram of refugees gets there and the pursuers get there. So you may, in fact, have to fend them off unless you can come up with another brilliant plan.
Sabotage the track.
Ooh, that's not a bad idea.
How
Is
would
there any kind of construction material around here, like explosive, dynamite, or heavy machinery?
There is. In fact, this place was built basically to be an automated factory for the purposes of basically digging out the places for these trams, digging for deep wells, mineral exploration, stuff like that. Basically, anything you can tell a heavy industry robot to do, this place can do it.
Close off that tunnel.
All right. You quickly program it in to close off the tunnel, and you get a timer as you see a lot of machinery down on the floors below begin to cycle up. Some of the rusting old robots begin to move around, and huge bay doors open up, revealing huge drilling machines as they load up and begin heading off out of sight. And then finally you get tracking where you can see that the drilling is beginning to move through the stonework, the stone itself, attempting to head towards the tram line. But you can tell just by how your things are timing, how fast things are going, that you have pretty much solved that problem. After a while, it gets to the point where you see that you're going to have to tell the dig team to stop for a minute to let the refugee trams go by before they finish cutting off the escape route.
Absolutely.
And after the trams, your evacuee trams get by, the dig team moves through the tunnel, and essentially all you really need to do is tell them to stop and leave the machinery there. What about the rest of you? He's been doing a lot of computer stuff, doing a lot of work. What are you guys doing to prepare to go?
I will make a suggestion to Geist to check to make sure the piloting all the stations, and also if they could just check the ship out to make sure we're functional.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll do a diagnostics check and the startup procedures. Whatever we really gotta. I'm sure there's like a whole slew of stuff that I gotta switch and flip and turn and check all the systems, make sure that it is space worthy and it's not going to implode on us as soon as we leave Atmo.
All right.
I'll supervise / annoy.
Okay. Marcus volunteers to go with you to help move refugees away from the trams and to prepare for launch.
This is preparing for our ship to launch.
This ship to launch.
For the Ark, the
that's
giant
fine.
mech.
Yeah.
And are you checking systems, Tucker?
Yeah, and also mostly looking for like the safest place to be in the ship
All right.
in case things mechanically fail.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to look and make sure they don't. But, you know,
But if they do,
where's
the escape pod?
Yeah.
All right. Give me an engineering check from you, and give me a pilot check from Geist, and let's see. Give me a diplomacy check. Not diplomacy. Is it diplomacy? Yeah, diplomacy check. Weepskeep.
For what?
Just cause.
Let's see how diplomatic your annoyance is.
I mean, I feel like intimidation is probably the better way.
All right. Well, if you're trying to rough these guys and rough everyone into shape, then you can do that as well.
Sit down and shut up, you war-torn refugees.
Can it be acrobatics? I don't know. Let's just see what I roll.
Dance.
Okay. I mean, if it's diplomacy, that's a 18.
All right. Then you do a credible job taking the lead and basically getting everyone and their supplies out of the way and basically into the vessel to the safety zones within. The safety zones that, let's see, Valgorth instructs you are viable. Valgorth, what was your
22 for anybody who doesn't want to listen the first time?
Okay.
For intimidation.
All right.
31 on my engineering.
Okay. You find that there are places in this ship that are non-habitable during space flight. It is not built for carrying massive amounts of people. It could size-wise, but like it also looks like it has sealed areas that are basically just habitational areas. All the equipment will be basically sealed, airlocked out while you're in space. It won't be basically everything in there would have to be manipulated by robots from the central control room.
Mm.
The safest areas you find are probably closer to the central control room. You see the absolute safest areas are about a 10-pack of cryopods that are put into an emergency escape pod. But you also find something a little alarming during your check.
Oh.
There is no drift engine on this vessel.
Oh, so we can get off planet, but it's not going to leave the system.
It could leave the system
slowly,
but not fast.
Yeah. And there's how many escape pods?
There's one left.
I would like to take a moment to finagle it not working unless you know how to unfinagle it.
Okay.
So that escape pod's not leaving unless I tell it to leave.
You discovered that instead of a drift engine, it has one of the slower, faster than light travel engine types from a long time ago. Basically, a temporary gate generator. These things are finicky, dangerous. It's the reason you send fully automated vessels instead of live people through them.
This fucking ship's made for robots, so I guess Geist is okay
for robots.
29 piloting.
Basically, it will take a miracle of both piloting and engineering to get to actually make a quick escape with this thing. Meanwhile, your piloting check?
29.
29. You check everything over. Everything seems to be in rough working order. You find that the vessel has no weapon systems. However, no weapon systems listed. However, you do see it has a massive space mining drill, basically a huge energy beam that could be repurposed as a weapon. And it has an incredibly thick hull that even like that makes an energy shield almost unnecessary with just from the sheer amount of material that it puts between you and space itself. The bulkhead is like 20 feet thick.
Probably steers like a building.
It in fact steers like a small town.
How many people do we roughly have on board? That were coming on board
at the end of the evacuation, 500.
Okay.
Roughly. The people from the safety zone immediately begin asking where the marshal is. What do you tell them, Weepscape?
Oh, just keep looking. I'm sure you'll find him. It's around here somewhere.
Right.
Eventually, Marshall told us to leave without him, right?
Yeah. Eventually, you get a sensor that indicates there's been a massive explosion in the tunnels. That would be a tram colliding with a bunch of digging equipment. And then shortly thereafter, you get the green light for launch.
Okay. So let me ask a couple questions. So scanning back at the original port that we came in on, there's another vessel there, correct?
Yes, it's the marshal's personal vessel, from what you can tell.
I thought the new group came in.
I thought you meant like when you initially arrived. Yes, there are a couple of vessels. There were a couple of vessels in the port after you guys left.
Ooh. Are any of those big enough to take a huge load of people?
No, not really. They are on par with the size of the Fool's Gambit. They're basically very expensive, very stylish landers. Or rather, I know the Fool's Gambit isn't a lander, but they're what the Empire considers a lander.
Okay.
So we haven't taken off yet? We have.
Well,
no.
Wait for the go ahead from y'all.
So, okay. Where do y'all want to go and what do y'all want to do?
Well, we still have to go get our ship, yeah?
Yes.
I would very much like to destroy their vessels, the Empire vessels that have landed here and are currently pursuing us. We've got this mining drill. Perhaps we can disable their vehicles before we leave. I don't know if there are others in orbit.
I mean, if they're landers,
that they have
be something.
From your previous interactions with the Marshal, they have 2 warships in orbit.
Yeah, somebody could come get them, but it would just make it more difficult for them to follow us.
Right. It would be better to take out their landers now.
Yeah.
And instead of having them pursue us and seeing where we go. So I am ready to lift off. Everything is in order. All the ignition sequences have been initiated and completed.
Guessing no weapons on this ship?
Just a mining drill.
Well, big
massive mining drill. Here, and I will send you the firing or the operating manual.
Okay.
If that is even possible to do.
Yeah, you basically get a indicator on your display for the drill Weepskeep that basically gives you basic instructions on how to use.
Push this button to turn
Pull
on.
this lever.
Pull this lever. Yeah. Are we ready? Valgoth? Everything in order on your end?
as ready as it'll ever be.
Okay.
I mean, I've let them know the limitations of this ship. So, yeah.
Let's see what she'll do. Take off.
All right, you fire it up. The whole earth around you begins to shake. Then you can feel basically the equivalent of several kilotons of nuclear explosions erupting below your feet through all the thick steel that this vessel is comprised of, as it attempts to gain lift from its buried position within the earth. It kicks up so much debris that any external cameras only reveal an enormous black storm around you that occasionally you see flashes of literal splashing, exploding lava from the intense heat of the engines pushing you forward. And finally, you begin to get lift. And basically all the people who you've brought with you, if you're down there with them, are basically holding on to whatever they can and screaming, because this is a legitimately kind of terrifying thing for people who've never been in space, and also just scary. And finally, you, through the rumbling of the atmosphere, you can hear something finally crackle across your radios. Evacuation ship. This is the Marshal. Can you hear me?
Go
Reply.
ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. You patch the Marshal through, and you can see that he is badly wounded in the video feed that you're getting. But he's also in some kind of like small space vessel. He says, I distracted him as long as I could. They started talking about nuking the planet's surface. They are very concerned about... One of them is very concerned about you not escaping, and the other one is concerned about making sure you are captured. And they're both kind of at odds with each other right now, so I thought it was a good opportunity to, add a little more chaos to it, Unfortunately, I took a lot of blows. I'm in my own vessel. I made it back to the town.
Whatever you have done has allowed us to evacuate 500 of your citizens.
That's good. That's good. He says, I can attempt a rendezvous, but I'm not sure that thing even has a dock, does it?
But we'll double check.
Yeah, check the schematics.
You see that it in fact does have a very small docking port that would never fit an extremely big ship, but two small ships, such as the one he's in, or maybe the Fool's Gambit, could fit.
Could his ship fit in the Fool's Gambit?
No.
Yes, huh?
Really?
His is a light fighter, basically.
Oh, okay.
So we could Marish Kadal this. He could meet up with the Fool's Gambit, and then we could dock the Fool's Gambit in us and get somewhere safe before we leave these people to their fates.
He says, "Oh well, that's a good plan. That's I'm definitely up for trying it. But you're gonna have a hell of a fight getting out of once you get above the atmosphere." They've been arguing with each other and exchanging a little bit of fire between the two warships. I'm not sure what's going on here.
Well, we're going to disable their landers before we leave Atmo. Make sure that the ground troops cannot rendezvous with their warships. That's the plan, anyway.
Says, fine by me. I don't think they sent anybody super important down, but it's part of their command structure down here, that's for sure.
They're stuck here, then they might not be able to communicate as well, and perhaps we can take advantage of the chaos that they are causing amongst themselves to either wound their ships or slip off into the vast.
He says, well, where do I find your ship? Can I set course?
Send a coded message.
All right. Your coded message bounces off a left behind beacon from Fanny 56. It tells you that basically the message is text written that she had to take the gambit into the drift for a moment just to take the heat off, and gives you a time code and an emergence location for when she will be back. Luckily for you, it's only 10 minutes from where you are now. This thing was dropped literally yesterday.
Good. Send that off to the marshal, yes?
All right. Hope to see you soon. He cuts off his message and begins flying away. Meanwhile, you can see as you are busting through the atmosphere of Bonacon 2.
We do need to inform Fanny 57 that we will be having a small fighter trying to dock her. We need her consent before we allow that to happen.
Okay. You basically have to keep that on broadcast for when she's detected. Once you're above the atmosphere and you're into the smooth blackness of space, your cameras and your video feeds indicate that basically you're looking down at the planet. You see just the massive glowing hole that you left behind beneath you, and the huge black storm that it generated washing over the planet. Meanwhile, on a couple of other monitors, you can see two gleaming Presleskinar battleships exchanging fire for a moment, and then the firing stops and they begin to maneuver towards your direction. Whew. In this time, however, you get this. You hear a signal. Fanny 56 pops onto your comms. All right, I'm out. Where are you? Oh my God, there's a guy coming toward me. Should I kill him? Well, wait, no. All right, docking. And this is, where do you want to rendezvous?
I will give, I guess, coordinates on the other side of the planet.
She says, I'm faster than you. Come on now, just tell me where to go.
Well, what we want to do is get away from the warships and, damage their landing in passing, and then get away from them so that she can get to us. What am I looking at here?
Basically, what you'd have to do is make sure the ship is too slow to get to the other side of the planet with any kind of efficacy for a rendezvous without the warships just following you where you are. You could just maneuver the Ark. I guess we'll just call it that for now. You could just maneuver the Ark's most thickly shielded area between you and the warships. Take the shots while Fanny moves into the backside for docking.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Well, here's my whole question. So, what's going to happen to the people?
The people?
Yeah, that we rescued.
I don't know what's going to happen to them. They're safe within the vessel you're in. Like I said, there is an area that can support that many people. It's a much narrower space within the vessel.
But my question is, what happens if they get captured by these two warships?
After we rendezvous and take our leave?
Yeah.
That's a question I could answer, but that would be telling you the future.
Then I will ask the same question as a precog.
Fine.
The lawyer.
I know you probably won't actually relate the answer. You're guessing if these people are captured, they will probably be destroyed as a matter of state secrecy.
As they should.
I mean, that's kind of what we assume would happen to them.
That means they got to be worth something to somebody, though, right? Monetary value?
So,
I mean, they'd be worth labor if nothing else.
just throwing this out here. If we were to take this ship and charge the one of the two warships, could it actually do enough damage to take one of them out?
You want to Star Wars this ship?
If you were to surprise them, yeah, it possibly could. Like, this thing is literally just a huge, massive cannonball in space.
Engage the faster than light drive and just drive through one?
Pretty much, yeah.
Was that The Last Jedi? Was that what that one?
I believe so.
Was? I mean, I'm down. I've never tried it before.
It's certainly an attemptable maneuver.
Okay. I mean, what do y'all think?
I am very enthusiastic to see the results of this, but I'm not sure if this ship would survive too much longer after such a maneuver. And while we strike one, perhaps we can drill the other. We just drill into one as we're going, leave a gaping hole right through it.
My whole thing is I just don't know. Cold-heartedly, I would say get on Fool's Gambit and haul ass. But how long would we survive getting onto the Fool's Gambit?
Against two warships?
Yeah. So
This would take us a full minute to get into the drift.
Yeah, which and you have to disable. You got to pretty much turn all your motion off when you do so.
We could just go into the drift from the inside of the Ark, which would probably destroy the Ark and the people within it. This is all happening through our comms, not in front of the refugees.
The only thing I can think of is we got to find some way to disable or damage these warships, and then give us room to do a little bit of fleeing or something, so we can come up with a better plan.
We have the slowest faster than light engine possible. So once Fanny is on board, then we will see what the Marshal wants to do with his people. But I agree, we should try to disable these if we can. Maybe hit them with the drilling laser and then faster than light travel through them.
Something along that line, yeah. I'm just grasping at straws here.
All right. Okay.
Any input from the rest of the crew?
The warships are here specifically for
us. Because we got they know we're coming here for the genetic code. Or they're assuming we're here for something, and either the person that wants to kill us doesn't give a shit, they just want us to kill it. I'm thinking, I don't know which one's which, but there's someone here that they're worried that we're going to probably get, they don't want the genetic code probably destroyed.
Crider wants us alive. He wants to capture us. So whoever is advocating for that side is probably Crowder's stoogie or stoogie? Crony. And he's trying to capture us alive. The other one wants us dead because we're Xenos and we infiltrated their sacred, the Emperor's cum storage.
The sacred cum dumpster where we keep all the frozen Emperor's food.
It's
That's
just a tied off old condom. We're waving at comms. We've got it. Don't shoot us. It'll destroy it.
This is an old sock in a cooler.
Whoa.
You know, if you watch Pulp Fiction and you watch it with a fine-tooth comb, that's what's in the box. It's just a cum rag.
Now, is it tastefully displayed in the suitcase, or is it just thrown in there?
No, it's
I have
the corners.
this is a joke, but it's also true. It's also true. I went and saw Tenacious D, and one of the things they had was the official Tenacious D cum rag, and I still have it. And it says the official Tenacious D cum rag, and then it's just got a unicorn on it. It's phenomenal.
Anything else is just a cum rag.
Anything
That's what
else
it
is
says
just a
under
cum rag. Yeah.
under the bottom.
I'll let Franks use it.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys are such close friends.
Yeah. So
It
he
was-
stays at my house when he comes back to South Carolina.
I mean, it was a little scratchy when I was wiping off, but
Mhm.
So stiff, crunch, crackle, crackle.
Texture.
Anyway.
So we let them know that we have the cum rag, which is where this came from. So they won't blow us up, right?
no, they don't care. They've got more stores of it.
That is something you know is not true.
Yeah, we got the only one.
Yeah, you currently have the only viable genetic sample of the imperial line left. Why
And-
this is necessary with a living emperor is unknown.
Well-
Shooting blanks. That's why.
The other part of this is nobility would love to get their hands on this because then they could integrate that with their bloodlines.
True. There's a lot of uses for emperor stuff, and
Wait. So if we try to negotiate with them, and they want the material, if we give it to them for the safety of us and for the safety of these people, what is to stop them from just blasting us out of space as soon as we're past them?
Yes.
We would have no bargaining chip.
We still don't have any bargain chips. So they don't want to destroy the sample. So
I
You
think we just blast through them.
you get an incoming message from one of the battleships. Basically, it's basically a someone's trying to open a dialogue with you.
put it on.
All right. You see a virile but older bearded man sitting in what appears like a very like ornate captain's chair.
Ooh, a space throne.
He smiles, a winning, shining, pearlescent smile. Says, "Which one of you is Essex?"
As I do the Max Headroom thing. Absolutely.
Okay. He smiles even wider somehow and says, "My name's Lord Dimmelmark. Technically, I'm a count, but I don't think you care very much about the niceties.
You are correct.
You have something that I want, and you have someone I want. Crew of this, what is this? Terraforming vessel? That's very clever, getting this thing into space. I mean, I'm not saying it's terribly functional, but it's very clever."
I swore you were going to say for Xenos at the end of that.
No, I like to think of myself as a more worldly man than your average provincial lord. But as far as Xenos go, yes, sure, if you want the compliment, take it. However, I need Mr. Essex for a personal matter, as he and an associate of his killed my son.
My condolences.
Forgive me if I don't. Thank you. But I also understand that you have a very rare genetic sample, something my son was very interested in and was doing research on when he died in the care of Mr. Essex and his companion.
Do we know this story at all?
You look at the fellow, and you can see that he bears a passing resemblance to one of the memories that you guys recovered. The day, apparently, that you met, there was some sort of scholar that was killed in your presence that had the information that set all this in motion. Now, you know that none of you actually did the killing. Basically, it was a firefight over what this guy had, and this guy is obviously way off base.
So he was just collateral damage.
Collateral damage and a useful tool for other people who no longer needed him. He says, I'm of course interested in brutal and gory revenge, but I am willing to bargain for both Mr. Essex for said purposes, and of course the sample that my son apparently died for. You get another indicator that you have a secondary messenger coming in from the other battleship.
Hold that thought, please. What was it, Baron? Viscount?
Count.
Anyway, and switch over to the other one.
This one, you see a much more militarized looking fellow. Xenos, you have 10 minutes to surrender. We understand that you have something very important to the Empire aboard your vessel, but we will not hesitate to blow you out of the sky if you do not submit to our demands.
Bleep blorp, blah blah blah, in drow. As if I don't understand what he says, and then I'll switch back to the count.
Fucking
Actually, I've got it on mute right now.
Okay, you see him cussing you out on the side screen while Demomark is oh, are you back? Have you thought about it? I know you and your crew looks like they are business types.
We do a lot of business of various natures. Hang on, let us confer for just a moment.
No, sure, yes. I imagine your friend's probably going to be very upset that you're probably going to sell him out to me for both your life and, I'll be fair with you, an exorbitant amount of money. He goes on mute.
Well, he had me at my life, but which of these ones are we plowing through? Are we plowing through the ones that are going to definitely shoot at us?
The military one.
Okay, so you don't want to go ahead and take out the, you want to try and shoot the Count's ship down, maybe to mitigate the revenge a little bit?
Let's not skip over the exorbitant amount of money.
We're not giving up Essex. Come on.
Well, even if you did give me up, just think about how much more money you can get for later on from the other people.
Right, he's
Yeah.
going to
Last time, I turned down millions of credits to come here and be in a trained fight to get a sponge rag full of Emperor cum. So, like, I'm thinking maybe.
Look, I have.
What incentive does this guy have to actually give us the money?
Right, it was exactly my point. I have dealt with Imperials before, not necessarily from the Presque-Lescanar, but I've dealt with nobles and Imperials. As soon as we give up Essex and the genetic material, he's going to blow us out to the sky.
All right. You see a third indicator that you have an incoming message pop up.
Can we screen our calls at all?
Nope. It's just open comms.
Oh, Jesus, it's a busy day. I don't have time to hit the button. I don't have time to talk about our extended warranty or whatever. What?
Greetings, friends. Sorry for the delay. A picture of a sort of a beat-up Presque-Lescanari robot, security robot fills your screen. It is your friend with the CPU. Whose name I cannot remember all of a fucking second.
It is Nearby Zillion.
Yes, Nearby Zillion, leader of the CPU.
Just about 1,000.
Zillion. Yes, hello. How can we help you? We're currently in the middle of something rather tense and difficult. Have you sent assistance to us, perhaps?
He says, if you check your scanner, you will see that there is a flashpoint for an exit from the drift, soon to be in your area. This is just a preemptive beacon that we sent through to establish control. We've managed to get working and refurbish the ship that you sold us, and we have a couple of other fighters along the way with me as well.
That was a warship, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
The troll soldier ship.
Mhm.
So if we take this one and crash it in and keep track of what, see how do as much damage as we can.
Mhm.
Does he have enough room on that warship to take on 500 passengers?
He says, perhaps, but we may not have enough stores of oxygen to maintain them for very long.
How long's long?
He says, the best I could give you is 5 days.
We can strip this ship for parts if we can get these 2 warships out of the way. We can deal with all the fallout afterwards. But we do have 2 Presqu'Escanard Imperial warships that are currently targeting us for different reasons. But yes, we're going to do what we can with one and then hope that you can take care of the other.
Yes, please do not shoot a big hulking arc thing that does not look like a warship.
Acknowledged. I am pleased to see that you are all in functional order.
Oh,
And let me throw
also-
this out there. You do not want us to die because we have good news for you.
We've got your vial of calm.
Well, I don't know if that I would put it that way, but thank you. It's amazing that you have been able to get this far.
Yes, I know. We are incredible at what we do. Anyway, we're going to blast through the ship now. We may
He said-
lose communication.
Does my records indicate that ship does not have drift capability?
That is correct.
He says, then you're going to have to aim its own FTL drives at a specific coordinate for us to rendezvous. I don't think that we'll be able to do anything.
So if you open up a drift portal, would we actually be able to go through it?
He thinks for a moment, says, that's an awful lot of mass. I need at least 2 or 3 drift engines tethered together.
Here's what I don't know the math of it because this is fantasy math that I don't know how to do. But if we render one ship immobile and you render the other ship immobile, perhaps you can collect their stuff as we are hurtling at faster than light speeds out, and then we will send you a message where we are. Does that work for you?
Acknowledged. Good luck.
And to you.
You get a fourth communication across your lines. This one, however, as part of your open comms, it's Fanny 56. Docking complete. Got your fella and his fighter.
Excellent. Hold on tight to your undercarriage. We are about to do something rather stupid.
Oh, cool. I like to hear that.
Well, then you love us.
Open comms throughout the ship. Everyone brace yourselves for impact. Things are about to get dicey.
You see the 2 open comms of the 2, like the military people, like you can see him silently ordering people to get to battle stations. He's ready to blow. He's so pissed off that you've been ignoring him. He's ready to blow you out of the sky right now.
I would like to turn on, just for the record, sorry about the delay. I just want to make sure you understand clearly that we are saying, go fuck yourself, and then blast through them.
All right. All right. Then I will need. Give me 3. Each of you give me a check. Actually, all of you give me a check. I'll need a weapons check from you, Weepskeep, for the drill. I know you said you guys were doing a attempt to do a damaging pass on your way through on Demomark's vessel. I'll need an engineering check from you, Valgorth. Piloting from you, Geist, and of course, I'll need you to program in your destinations on a very quick and reactive way, Essex. So I'll need computers from you. Give them to me.
29 for the weapons.
All right, 29 for the weapons.
I would like to use my specialization skill mastery
Okay.
to take 10 on my piloting check.
All right, and what does that
For
give you?
28.
28. All right, engineering.
having a character dilemma.
Sure.
Like, would Valgorth want to stick around while you guys crash this ship into another ship? Or would he use that escape pod?
And then what?
That's what I'm trying to figure out is like, well, I know that a drift is about to open, right? Where the nearby Zillion is sending people.
Yeah.
So, like, if you guys all die, I still might have them to rescue me.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't think I actually have skill focus in piloting.
Okay. Then give me your roll.
I do not have skill focus in piloting. My apologies for that tangent. Give him time for Toker to think about what his character is actually going to do.
I'm going to stick
21.
with y'all specifically because you still have the spooge that's our only armor in this.
The money
situation.
spooge.
The spooge must flow.
I'm gonna stay where the spooge must flow. I'm also gonna use my paradox to give myself a 30 for this engineering check.
30. Okay, let's see. That's okay. All right, Jeff, computers.
35.
35?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys begin frantically working at your various stations. You see Valgorth hesitate at first and then immediately go to work.
He's looking at a weird device he has that y'all might not know what it is, but it's the device that makes the escape pod work.
Weepskeep, from your station, you can you're basically having to program in a firing arc that is basically a movement-based one. So basically you have to pre-track something, where it's going to be, where you will be, and like it's probably one of the most complicated like combat programming you've ever done.
I feel so alive.
Geist, you fire everything up. You basically put all engines in gear, and finally you turn on the portal generator, setting the beam at an extra long arc just past the battleship that you were aiming for.
Punch it into ludicrous speed.
Yeah, punch it into ludicrous speed. Meanwhile, Jeff, as he is basically setting the path, you are setting the destination. Quickly moving through maps and updating them on the fly because a lot of them are out of date. You were able to quickly ascertain where you need to be and where you are going and where you are, and all in a matter of moments. The whole building, arc lurches forward in an almost painful burst of speed. After you were basically finished with your calculations and begin activating everything, you're basically paced into the chair for a good 10 seconds as the machine burns forward, and you can see on the monitors the Presleskinari vessel that you are heading for at an amazingly quick speed, kilometers per millisecond. Burn by you, and finally you can see their vessel just reacting as it begins to shift off to the side as you approach, but far too late. And you see all your monitors become explosions of lights and metal, and everything around you the whole bridge lights up from the recorded explosions as you plow through this vessel. You can see one on your monitor, Weepskeep. You can see the arc of your mining laser cut a huge line down Demolark's warship. But this is only a blink of an eye as suddenly your whole bodies go into spasms of nausea as you enter this very old-fashioned jump gate. Everything blacks out, as in like you just sort of lose all sensory perception as you are hurled through dimensions even magical beings and mortals were not meant to see. And out the other side. And we'll pick up there next time. Thank you for playing today.
Neat.
We just did the Star Wars stupid thing.
It was our plan all along.
Please tell me it destroyed or at least disabled that ship.
Oh no, you basically chopped it in half, essentially.
Like I said, neat.
All right, thanks for joining us today. Check out our yada yadas and have a yada yada. Good night.
You can't yada yada that.